I'm a dentist in the LA area, and I'm scared that's all I'm ever going to be. Dr. D.
This guy's a millennial.
Which is nothing to be ashamed about. Yeah, you losers. You freaking losers. Funky Phoenix. So you're the Funky Phoenix.
Dracula came from behind.
A sea of white people.
Wow, that's actually pretty deep.
Yeah, man, and you were fucking laughing. My hand is sopping wet.
You're nervous. Bro, this is just a podcast. We can go.
It's gonna be a little bit poetry focused.
I don't know if I'll say it's going to be poetry focused.
I mean, we're gonna be fucking reading poems.
That's true.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the premiere episode of Gobbledygacks, a comedy poetry, maybe?
Comedy poetry podcast,
Comedy
yeah.
Poetry podcast, hosted by myself, Chug.
And me, Daniel.
Daniel, and hopefully this could be a place, a space, or you could just come and hang. Just come and hang out with these two dudes.
Yeah, just chill out.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Just breathe, no pressure.
Let's do the breathing exercise one more time for the audience and for ourselves.
Okay, a little breathing through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. I feel safe.
I feel safe.
I feel safe and I feel calm and I feel relaxed.
This is my apartment, so I feel safe. Doubly so now because we breathe twice.
Yeah. Unlike the external world, which let's try to forget.
Yeah. You know all those loan stuff, the tariff issues?
Okay.
Oh. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about it. It's all horrible.
You know your family issues? Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deep, dark secret I know you're hiding deep inside. That's
really forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, just enjoy some little bit of poetry, little flowery words.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not really a believer, but for you, bro.
Okay.
Amen. Amen for you.
Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome.
안녕하세요.
For our Korean listeners, if you can't tell, we are both Korean.
Surprise. Now I'm doing a character. I've become like this.
You're like the ambassador.
I can't stop. Wow.
You're just always on, man.
I know.
But I love that about you, Daniel. And I love that. And I love that about you, Daniel.
And scene. All right.
Yeah, come on, hang. It's just,
Yeah, it's just in all seriousness, it's going to be it's just a chill time.
Yeah, a little wind down.
Yeah, this is just to get us through the day.
Yeah,
with two buds.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you know what, Daniel? I feel like the space that we're creating right here in this podcast, where we're connecting with the internet people, is a little bit of a safe haven, a little island that we're creating, and I feel like that is, that's I feel like core to our relationship. Our friendship, how it began. Daniel and I have both met each other a year into quarantine, in 2021.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So the way we initially knew each other, we actually met through church.
Yeah, I was a young boy. He, an adult, mature man.
Okay. I was a volunteer in the youth ministry that he was a part of.
I was a child.
Yeah. That is clear, right? Because I'm older by just a few years.
Hey, everybody. This guy's a millennial.
Which is nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Hey. Finger, tattoo, mustache, people rise. Oh, that actually kind of looks bad, actually. Forget I did that.
Okay, so we met.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When people, they tattooed a mustache on their finger and they did pictures like this.
Was that a millennial thing or a Gen Z thing?
That was definitely millennial. I remember seeing that on the internet when I was perusing as a child, when you guys were all adults.
Well, at that time, all I was doing was doing Bible study and trying to get to dental school. So I don't know anything. Now that you bring that up, I do remember some tattoos like that.
Okay.
But all that to say, I was a youth teacher in the same ministry that Chug was a youth kid in. And so we did work together briefly because he was I believe you were part of the sound and the AV guys.
I was involved. I think at a certain point, I was part of the welcoming team as well.
Okay, yeah. But I was at one point put in charge of the AV team. I was just the lead. Yeah, I was like the representative of the teacher side on the AV. But we didn't really connect or anything. I mean, we did. We liked each other, but it wasn't like we're super close.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I'm very interested in this. I know we have a bit more to go in this story of how we reconnected. But what was your impression of me when I was a child?
Well, I thought you were gifted. To me, okay. For those who don't, this is my interpretation of like the church ecosystem for like service and people who like volunteer. But typically the people who are in the AV part of the service where they control the audio and the video and the presentations and things like that, they're basically running the service. They're essential, right? And so oftentimes there's usually two types of people. There's either, in my experience, there's either people who are a little quieter, more introverted. They don't want to really.
Losers. Sorry, it was getting a little drawn out.
Yeah, you losers. You freaking losers. No, they're not losers.
He said it. Wind it back. He said losers.
I only said introverted and quiet. Yeah, you losers. You freaking losers. Or they're really tech savvy. Okay. Yeah, okay. Or they're a little artistic. They're different because they're not looking to be like the stars of the show, or they're not like people pleasers necessarily, which a lot of people in like the welcoming team or whatever are. They're just very focused on making sure the ship is tight.
Are you saying I was making sure the ship was tight? I was like one of the people.
I felt that way.
I was a people pleaser to the max. I'll people please my way into your heart, man.
Yo, I don't want to say it in a way that's weird, but you did please at least a part that needed the service to run. Part of my heart, you pleased it.
Oh, we hear that young boy in church pleasing adults. Yes. If it isn't already apparent, right. I have left the church.
And I still go, though I have a healthy suspicion of people in charge.
Yeah.
I love God.
Yes.
Right.
He loves God.
Chug doesn't believe in God.
I don't. And to my family who's listening, who still believes, this is fiction. This is entertainment. We're creating a dynamic here.
We're just here to help you relax, even though we're getting into possibly one of the most.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, we got to speed this along. I think people are getting. Okay. People are getting hot in their seats right now.
Yeah, but anyways, all that to say, okay.
Okay, first impression of me, yes.
Yeah. So first impression of you, I thought you were a cool kid.
Oh, sick.
I liked you. Yeah. I was excited to work with you. And then I got taken off the team, I think, because I was not a right fit.
You're a people pleaser.
Right. I'm a people pleaser and I love being a star. Yeah. So those two things combined for a deadly toxic person in the back.
Well, damn, I wish you didn't say that part because, in the back. Yes. Yeah. Because I was going to say, I think we both have that in common.
People pleasing?
People pleasing. And I like attention. I like the spotlight, but sometimes I'm shy.
And that's crazy because I also like attention.
This guy fucking loves it.
I don't know if we were going to go to that degree, but I definitely do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You could say I fucking love attention. I mean, why am I rearranging my apartment on a Friday night to do this podcast if I didn't want to make millions of dollars off this?
And you know what? When I was a boy, when I was a young child, impressionable clay mind, I actually thought you were very cool too.
Yeah, I was about to ask what you thought of me.
Yeah, no, I thought you were. For me, I said to you, I would. This is how I'd be on the other side of the room, and amongst all the noise, I would hear this beautiful siren voice, this gravelly. You were on your own radio channel.
That's crazy because I don't sound like that at all.
Hey guys, my Daniel. I love that's.
You see, a lot of people do that impression of me
because it's accurate.
It's a little insulting.
Oh, well, I don't mean it to be insulting.
Hey, that's insulting. Yeah, and so for those who thought I like that, I don't. Only Chug gets to do that.
Yeah.
Only Chug. But anyways, so we lost touch.
Yeah, but to wrap it up.
You left church.
I did.
You left church. I left that church as well to go to other churches.
Yeah.
And this was all pre-COVID. And what happened was the world ended with COVID.
It did.
Everything stood still. And for me personally, I was in residency at the time and I was feeling a little bit lost I was scared I wasn't going to like being a dentist. I hadn't really processed that yet. But what COVID did, at least that period of time did for me, it slowed down my life. Like I didn't have to go to clinic for a while. I didn't have to drive around. I was just in my family house and I just had so much time. I didn't need to study. Yeah. So I just started going on walks. I just started going on these deep dives, journaling and writing. And I started imagining the life I wanted to live. And I was like, you know what? I want to take a comedy sketch class. And I want to take a comedy sketch class. So I did. I signed up for one at a local comedy theater in LA. And I expected to be the only Korean in that class. But lo and behold.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, to catch up my side up to speed, same thing, man. The world ended. And I remember all the momentum, because I was in my junior year of college, undergrad at that point. And all the momentum that had propelled me forward through, educational institutions, kind of set social circles, stuff that, where you're integrated with other people. All that stuff was shut off. I was locked in my room alone. And it was very dark, man. It was very dark. And my heart also, just like you, it always has gravitated towards comedy. Yeah. Towards joy. I love laughing, man. It's my favorite thing in the world is to laugh. Mm-hmm. And yeah, same thing. I was like, you know what? There's not really much I could do from my room. I'm going to sign up for a class. I entered that Zoom meeting, a sea of white people or white men.
Yeah, it was all men in that class,
yeah, which, just observation comedy. It was just a lot of men, a lot of white men.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're breaking news here right now, folks. Really,
we locked eyes.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I saw Daniel in that Zoom meeting, I was like, wait a fucking second. Not only is this guy also Korean, I already know this guy. I already know this guy.
I had the exact same feeling, actually. Yeah, because at first I was like, who is this? At that time, I was very competitive because I wanted to be the biggest shark in the tank. I was just in that zone where I had a chip on my shoulder. So I first saw this other Asian dude with long hair. At the time, he had like really long shoulder length hair.
I had Messiah locks.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who is this dude? Are we gonna have to fight for airtime here in this class? But
there's only room for one Asian.
Yeah, I don't know. There was that sort of
fucking millennial.
But yeah, the more I just saw this guy, I was like, wait, I know him. Yeah. This guy looks exactly like Josh.
Yeah, that young boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think young boy.
I don't know why I'm putting emphasis on that. There was nothing nefarious there.
No, but it was exciting. It went from like kind of competitiveness to just excitement to know that someone that I knew, not just from my life, but church is still a very big part of it. Yeah. To see like a former youth kid who's now this adult who's like also pursuing his dreams at such a young age, it made me it just opened my heart at that time. I was filled with so much gratitude and joy and surprise, like all the positives in that situation I felt seeing Josh.
Yeah, and I think that's something I really admire about you too, Daniel. Is like we've had a lot of conversations about the comedy thing, right?
Yeah.
This like deep underlying passion we have that we haven't, due to self-limiting things or also external factors, we've suppressed. We haven't let ourselves fully realize it.
Right.
And we're both on journeys to break that down and, have some laughs.
Yeah.
And not to, it's okay. Maybe we can cut this out, but I know you mentioned to me that you have felt that maybe you're starting too late, or maybe you're, a little bit behind in the race. But nah, man, dude, like I think everything you've experienced this far is informing your art, informing your comedy. And also, it's never too late, especially when it comes to things you love and things you're passionate about. All we really have is the present moment. So forget about the past and how much is behind you or how little you have in front of you. Just fucking do it now. Just fucking do it now.
I hope you wrote that down. Whoever's listening to this.
I rehearsed that.
Yeah, I hope you wrote that down because that's gold. That's the first rule of comedy. It's never too late.
Yeah, and also I hope I don't even know if this is funny at all.
There's absolutely nothing funny about this part.
Yeah,
this is just motivational. Yeah. This is just like, I think this is coming from your heart. It doesn't have to be funny.
Yeah, you know what? Comedy, I think for me, is truth. I think what's most funny.
Oh, I feel the same way. Yeah. Actually, sincerely, yeah.
Comedy is truth. But you know what's also really fucking funny? Not only were we both the only two Asian, only two Korean people in that class who already had a pre-existing connection, we both independently of each other failed that comedy class. Right? We both stopped going.
Yeah.
We didn't tell each other.
I had commitment issues at the time. I just decided not to go anymore.
Me too. And I remember, I think the same day that you stopped going, I stopped going. And I remember I called you one time and I was like, oh man, like what did I miss?
I was like, oh wait, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you.
I didn't finish. Did you ever go back? Did you ever like?
No, I've signed up multiple times and asked for my money back and never starting, only because I would have too much on my schedule and I didn't realize the cost of saying yes to that class over and over again. So I'm so sorry. You know which theater this is, whoever's listening.
But you know what though? You're supporting the arts. You know how you probably kept that theater alive for at least a day. Get the lights on.
Well, I got my money back, so.
Oh, you were killing the scene. You're killing the theaters, bro.
Well, I went from sketch comedy to stand-up shortly after.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so here's the great thing about that. I fell in love with comedy through sketch, like Saturday Night Live, Conan's like late night show, gag concert in Korea, like just all these like very entry level, whose line is it anyways? I went from sketch to stand up because stand up, you kind of get to be, depending on your philosophy of it, but you get to be completely who you are. And you get to say exactly what you want without the constraints of like having to be a partner. So it's really under your control. And I think that's something you and I share.
And I think that's got to connect to like, I mean, most of your life, did you feel like you were kind of suppressing I keep saying that word, suppression, but like, do you feel like you're muting yourself almost? You weren't exercising your voice?
I mean, for sure. I culturally, I'm the first son of, Korean American immigrants, and they did their best to love me, and they did in many ways an amazing job. But there were a lot of responsibilities that were expected of me. And it's not necessarily that they told me how to live my life, but I let those expectations dictate my choices. Yeah. And I was always in the back of my mind thinking, how will this represent my parents? How will this represent my family? And how will this represent the church I go to, or this like, I felt like I was being really ingenuine and I was being unintentional with the way that I was living my life. And one of the things that was really big in that season was I started getting a lot of panic attacks while I was in dental school and residency. Yeah. And so therefore I was kind of at the end of myself. And I just didn't know who I was anymore. I felt like I was losing my voice, and I was always proud of how I was able to use my words up till that point. So when things imploded with residency and I left and I started entering the workforce, this comedy became the way that I started reshaping my identity and started discovering who God made me to be, because I was starting to say things that I was ashamed to say, or I was starting to say things that I always felt like I had to kind of keep close to myself, you know? And that's why I love stand-up so much, because whether people connect with it or not, I'm making a deliberate choice to be myself. And that's not to say you can't do that in sketch or whatever, but I definitely felt like, even with my sketch comedy experience, which is not much, it was hard because it didn't, you had to frame it in a story, you know, whereas in stand-up, you can create the stories and you can shape it without the consideration of like the people who are going to be in the scene. I don't know. This is how I saw it. But yeah, one thing I loved about you was when we would start meeting up after, and it wasn't like we met up every single day, but the moments we would meet, I found a friend, even though I'm like, you know, I'm only like 2 or 3 years older than you.
Oh, really? I swear it was like 15 years in between us. Dude.
Okay, whichever. But I love that I had someone now I could bounce ideas with. I could talk really deeply about comedy philosophy with. And I have a few friends I could do that with, but no one who wants to pursue it. No one who wants to chase it the way that I did. Yeah. And I'm so grateful that we connected.
Yeah, I think we both we really love the craft of it. Yeah. And not to, you know, again, this is just observations and like, you know, certain comics I've seen on the scene, open mics and all that. There's a lot of things you can get out of an open mic, out of comedy. And I think a lot of people do chase, I mean, we're chasing the same thing, attention. All right.
I mean, I think we made it clear. We love attention. Like,
fucking love it, dude.
I can't live without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is my life without attention?
Yeah, bro. It's like an IV straight to the veins.
Yeah. So we're no better.
Yeah. We're no better at all. But I think, I don't know. There's a reverence I think we both share for it. Yeah. But yeah.
You don't have to be a comedian or like pursuing comedy to have that same reverence. I know people who just love comedy as fans and they don't have that compulsion to have to perform. But I think because we share a lot of that people pleasing, we have that, like, we've had to like mute our own opinions.
Weak-willed, fluid spines. Yeah, I know it.
I identified another worm the way that I feel like a worm.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that reverence turns into like, oh, I see, like, he's going to do this. He's going to jump into that. And then they're going to twist that into the setup for the next thing. Like,
and you appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
Like you just, like all the setups and stuff, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's what, another thing I like about you, Chug, and why I agreed to do the podcast with you is because, the way we're talking about it right now, it can really turn pompous and turn arrogant, especially for two people who are relatively unknown.
Yeah, and I already feel like it's going to that point. Yeah. And I probably should cut all of this out.
We're not going to cut this
out. You sound like an asshole.
But so that's the thing. We could sound like assholes, but what I love about you is you bring a very different, like, silly energy.
Oh, I like being silly.
Yeah. You're very
whimsical.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, this is just comedy.
Yeah. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. This is just to make our lives more pleasant while we're on this earth. Yeah. This is not something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. And you know what though? Like, I feel like that whimsical side of me only manifested once I did a little bit more, self-development and stuff. I feel like when I was that young boy at the church, I'm not making too much connections to, like, you know, all that stuff, whatever. But I did feel very, like, rigid. I remember being a boy at that church. I remember feeling so uncomfortable in my body. I remember feeling like, you know, going around being really serious.
You were moving your legs and your arms like that?
Yeah, dude, I walk around. I remember one of your close friends, I won't say who, but they dubbed me the Awkward King. I remember. I was like maybe like 11 or 12. I don't know.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, no, but it was around the time. I'm fucking millennials, dude. It was around that time when, like, awkward was that was like the internet word. Everyone loved. Remember awkward, you know, tacos or awkward.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a millennial thing for sure.
Yeah. It wasn't like I don't think there was ill intent behind it. They were just describing behavior. But that was a young, neurodivergent, unrealized,
like awkward turtle kind of thing.
Is there any other evidence we need for his age?
So anyways, okay. So you felt like you weren't comfortable in your own skin.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't at all. And that comes, I mean, that's probably a story for another pod or whatever. I think it's getting too dark. I think we got to juice it up.
We got a lot for you.
Yeah. Throw in a fart sound right here, dude. Okay. Moving on. That's how we met. For those who are just listening, Daniel just put his bare ass on the mic.
I will deny that to the day I die. Let's get to the meat of this podcast. What's this podcast about?
This podcast, I think, is a comedic exercise in expressing ourselves.
It's a sandbox.
It's a sandbox, and I think also like, it's like a gym. It's like a gym, I think, you know. Come along with us as we flex our muscles and tear the fucking, I hate that explanation.
We're going to just do things that are interesting to us. We're going to do things that we want to try, bits that we haven't worked out. We're going to do some improv, even though I've never done improv before.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like things that, you know, that we've denied ourselves from doing.
And we're going to get real.
We're going to get fucking real. And I think this is an excellent time to go into our poems. Okay. Daniel and I have decided that we'd do a little poem based on introspection. Do you want to describe the prompt a bit, Daniel?
Yeah. Okay. So each week we're going to have a different prompt for how we're going to do the poem. This time, just to start off, because we're doing kind of a... Your hand is so wet.
My hand is so fucking wet, dude. Okay, oh, sorry.
Yeah. So this week, what we decided to do, the theme was write whatever's on our heart. We're just going to be vulnerable. Yeah. That was what the poem's theme was. And how we went about it, we both individually at our own homes stared into a mirror for 5 minutes without talking. And we just, no noise. We just stared into it for 5 minutes. And afterwards, for 5 minutes, we wrote whatever was on our hearts.
Yeah, we locked eyes in a mirror with ourselves, and we let the words fill. And also, just to preface, this is first draft stuff. This is just pure vomit.
This is pure id. This is just the inside coming forth to bless us. You know. Can
you go first? I want to hear. Yeah, my poem I think is a closer because it's kind of bad. No, it's good. It's actually really good.
No, you don't ever deny yourself your own talent. That is one of the number one rules of poetry.
That. I don't want to hear that. Just go.
So welcome to... Wow, this is actually kind of...
Yeah, okay, wait, I'll set you up again. This is Daniel's poem after 5 minutes of locked introspection. In a mirror.
Hurt people. The saying is true. The hard part is to love imperfect people with open arms and an open heart. There's a chance you might turn black and blue. It's hard to look at my face in the smudged up mirror. Well, not that hard, but I noticed the little changes. My hair has grown out, so now the strands are unruly. My jowls are thicker, more full than I'd like, more wrinkles and creases at the corners. But my eyes, weakened by blue curing lights, are still proudly brown. I stare back at the person I've become up to this point, and I'm grateful to Christ there is still time to deepen these creases, to grow out the wavy hair I've inherited, to sharpen the jawlines and moisturize my skin. I fidget.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that last.
Yeah. Second gen, baby. That's my rap name.
Oh, second gen. Okay.
Second gen.
Oh, I like that.
And this is my poetry notebook.
Oh, sick. Yeah, because you practice. You're a practitioner of poetry.
I write poetry a lot. I like poetry a lot. Obviously, this was kind of this was your idea.
Yeah, but it was spawned from you expressing your interest in poetry.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I mean, because I remember we had a conversation where you said that as opposed to stand-up, poetry is where you feel like you could fully be yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Yeah, I would say so. The only thing is I don't find that I'm very funny with poetry.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it's like, maybe that's, because you are very funny outside of poetry, I think. You're funnier comedy. You're very...
I'm probably everyone's in my life. I'm like in top 5 funniest people they know.
That's very arrogant. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a hubris right there, man.
I mean, it's going to be hard to deny. Hard to at least top 5. I may not be the funniest, but I sure as hell have at least 5.
Yeah, you're pretty funny, man.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, back to your poem though. What did you think when you wrote it?
Well, you know, I have a hard time paying attention, and it's uncomfortable for me to like stare at one place. So I just notice things I need to change.
Oh, that's revealing.
That was one of the things that was like, I was like, wow, like my face is so fat. I was like, oh my God. I'm growing out my hair too right now on the instruction of my hairstylist, but I'm so.
You have a hairstylist?
Oh, I mean, I just go to a person that I've gone to for a while.
Okay, I see. Okay.
That's a crazy story that I'll share another time. But I'm just uncomfortable with my hair.
Wow.
I'm noticing more as I'm losing a little bit of weight now. I notice more wrinkles in my skin, and it kind of makes me like, oh my God, I'm getting older. I'm not old, everyone, but
he's fucking pretty old. No, you're not old.
But man. I was just noticing like, oh shoot, like, and then I know like I was uncomfortable with that, and I was thinking of all the things I need to change my diet. I need to work harder at my workouts. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I noticed like I was so uncomfortable. I started noticing my mirror was smudged, and I was embarrassed about that because I wanted to keep it clean because I was filming it to send it to you as proof that I did it. And I was like, oh my God, like I didn't clean my mirror. I didn't do. So I was noticing all these imperfections. I just felt like, you know, I felt like God was saying to me, wow, it's okay to be imperfect. Like that's the whole point of being a human being. Like you're never going to be perfect. And maybe one of the reasons I'm so filled with anxiety, or I'm so like, I'm so discontent, is I have a hard time accepting I'm imperfect. Yeah. So that was my thinking in this. Yeah.
I like that. It's very contemplative. Do you feel like, did it influence your day like after? Like,
not at all. Because I had pest control coming soon. So no, yeah. Yeah, well, that was my poem. What about you?
I like that. Well, I mean, mine is very different. Very different. I mean, I haven't written a poem in like 4 years. I took a poetry class in college. Really enjoyed it. I love poetry. I love the art. I love ingesting it. I love flowery language. I love flowery language that reveals deeper truths.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, very rusty. First draft.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm pretty proud of this one.
Okay, I'm excited. Seriously.
Okay. Did you have a title for yours?
No.
Okay. I had a tentative title.
What was the title?
Forget about this when you hear the poem. The tentative title was I See You, Jake Sully. You know, like Avatar? Just think about that. Let that sit like a fucking appetite, like a little, palate.
You know what? I like that.
Right? It's, right?
It's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just gonna get right into it. This is a poem I wrote after 5 minutes of staring at myself in a mirror. A fool sits before me, no king to entertain. Bells adorn his feet, but silent is how they behave. 'Twas once a headless chicken, generously spilling blood,
till Dracula came from behind
and sucked the shit out of him. Ka-thud. Darkness enshrouds the decayed. Jingle jangle, young hero. Jingle jangle, your time is nigh. Jingle jangle, funky phoenix. Rise, rise.
Oh, is that it?
That was it, man. It's fucking amazing, huh?
And you chose Jake Sully?
Well, that was like that's more of like a, because I don't think in Avatar, James, it's like a moment where I see you. I was seeing myself.
Oh, like this kind of scene? Like where we
Yeah,
like
we connect ponytails. But like I really felt connected. Like when I was looking in the mirror.
Can I take a look at your phone?
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to reprocess.
Yeah, what is it? You don't like it?
No, I liked it. No, genuinely, I liked it. Actually, I just want to read it. You know what I liked about it?
This is first draft.
Oh, I mean, you know what's crazy about this though? You fit so many ideas and like, genuinely, genuinely, you fit so many ideas and perspectives into one like single poem. I'm actually really impressed that you're able to pull all those like references.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's like a wonderful way to actually see how your mind works.
I think yes.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it is. And you were able to rhyme a lot of it.
Yeah, I know poems don't need a rhyme, but I do enjoy that whimsical quality about it.
No, yeah. I'm being dead serious. I really liked.
Grasping at straws here, huh?
No. It I'm not grasping at straws.
Did you like the Dracula impression?
I did like that. Yeah, I did.
You fucking asshole. I'm opening my heart here, dude. I'm being vulnerable. You're laughing at me?
No. I know it seems like it's ingenuine because like I'm like taking types, but I'm trying to find why I liked it so much.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. Like, this is like, I laugh at it too, and I had so much fun writing this.
Can you read it one more time for us? Just one more time.
The full thing, or just like?
Just like
I can do the full thing.
Yeah, do the full thing one more time.
I like attention. I can.
Go ahead, please.
I see you, Jake Sully. Tentative title. A fool sits before me, no king to entertain. Bells adorn his feet, but silent is how they behave.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Should I restart?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm milking it, man. I'm milking it. I like the warmth of the spotlight right now. A fool sits before me, no king to entertain. Bells adorn his feet, but silent is how they behave. 'Twas once a headless chicken, generously spilling blood,
till Dracula came from behind
and sucked the shit out of him. Ka-thud. Darkness enshrouds the decayed. Jingle jangle, young hero. Jingle jangle, your time is nigh. Jingle jangle, funky phoenix. Rise, rise.
I see. And so who's saying the jingle jangle?
The jingle jangle is, well, do you want me to do a full break? I mean, should we Old Man in the Sea this? Or
I'd like to hear that.
Leave it up to
what do you mean by it?
So we can break it down, man.
No.
I love the archetype of the fool. The court jester who speaks truth to the king, one of the only members of the court who can speak direct truth, right? And I've always loved that. I always have felt deep inside I'm just a trickster spirit. I'm a little foxy guy. And the second line, no king to entertain. I feel like that's inside me. That's deep inside. I'm a fool. I'm a jester. But I report to no king. I'm speaking no truth. The king obviously should be myself. I should be wearing my own crown, I don't know if that comes across, but I feel like a defunct, a lifeless corpse of a fool, a clown.
Wow, that's actually pretty deep.
Yeah, man, and you were fucking laughing. You were fucking laughing. You thought this was all a joke. You thought this. You made me repeat it multiple times.
Did it? No.
You're making a fool of me.
No,
man.
I knew. No. There were certain bangers in that poem. Yeah. There are certain bangers in that poem that
it's a bit too abstract.
I was missing something. I knew it was deep.
Yeah, and at the third line, I think bells adorn his feet, but silence is how they behave.
Actually, legitimately, that was a great line.
Right? Like, you hear they're dancing around the moving and you hear the bells on their feet.
Okay.
But this is a silent fool. He's making no jingle. No jingle jangle. No jingle jangle. Jingle jangle.
Dude, that was pretty sick.
You like that? That's a fucking bar.
That was actually really sick.
And then the second part, the headless chicken. What did you think of the headless chicken?
Well, I thought it was very vivid imagery.
Right. And you know where that comes from? These images, they really just come from, I feel certain ways. I recall how I felt in certain times of my life, right? And I do, if you're friends with me, you know I love metaphors and I often speak in this way, right? It's easier than using real concrete words and it's more fun. But the image of a headless chicken, I feel like that's how I have been living my life, operating in the last couple of years.
Like unintentionally. Like you're just kind of going through it. You don't know where you're going.
Yeah, I'm headless. I don't have a head.
Wow.
I don't even know who I am. I'm not looking at myself in a mirror. I'm not aware of who I am. I'm just fucking flailing around in the last seconds of my life, right? And I'm just spilling this blood, which is like, my life essence. I'm giving everything away.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really deep.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess it was fine. I had been operating that way for a while, just flailing around, carelessly just spilling my blood. And then that line after, Dracula.
Dracula. Dracula.
I feel like that's like society.
I think they get it. Yeah.
that I think
Dracula.
That's pretty good.
Hey, thank you. It's the first time attempting it.
But like that represents any number of things. Like vampiric people, relationships, parasitical. That's a word? That's a word. Like a parasite, like jobs and societal
parasitical
pressures.
I'm not sure. I don't want to misspeak, but that sounds like a word.
And I feel like I just because I had been blind and just running around aimlessly, I had allowed dark forces to siphon my life essence. Which reflects my time working. Just like I had a work from home job for a while, where I was just chained to my desk. And I felt like my blood was just being drained out of me. But chicken, phoenix, that's another connection there, right? Because after that, what did I say after that? Oh yeah. Suck the shit out of them. Cathud. Just falling over. I'm done. I'm dead. I'm done. I'm at my lowest. And then
Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle. Well, I had this. I don't know why I included this.
What is this?
Darkness enshrouds the decayed. That seems really dark and out of place.
Is that after Cathud?
Yeah, that's after Cathud.
Darkness enshrouds the decay. Well, okay. It fits with the theme that you're having because you're a jester who's silent, who's not living out the purpose that he was intended to be.
Yeah.
And so remember our talk earlier about like where like still waters, it gets poisoned and like mold starts to form.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No ventilation.
Yeah. And I don't want to give too much insight into like what we talked, that was like a private thing, but I think both of us.
I can't believe you brought that up, dude. No, but yeah, it's pertinent.
No, but I think it really fits. I think not to psychoanalyze you, but it just sounds like you're in a place where you're frustrated.
Yeah.
And you want, you know the kind of person you are, but it doesn't seem like the doors are opening right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like you're able to exercise really the things that make you you.
Yeah.
And so that would make sense to have the darkness enshrouding the decayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what follows? The sound of the jingle jangle. I got those feet moving. Those fools' feet. Jingle jangle. Jingle jangle.
So that's like you saying, I'm coming.
That's saying, that's like, getting the body moving. Jingle jangle.
Like you're coming alive again.
Coming alive again. And, and at this point too, like, this is all me looking in the mirror. And like, when I was practicing that exercise of like 5 minutes, having a staring contest with myself, I just only looked at my eyes. I couldn't look at the rest of my face. I just like, locked eyes, and I couldn't help but smile. I couldn't help but just feel this like endless joy, like deep inside. Awesome. Yeah, just like staring deep into the soul. And that's something people have told me all throughout my life. Like, oh, you get this, whatever. I don't want to sound arrogant. asshole.
No, you just got to be authentic. Like if that's how you really felt, you should say it.
Yeah, like people have told me like, oh, like you've got like, oh, you're like a light. Oh, like you're so joyous. But every time I heard that, all throughout my life, it always felt incongruent. It felt the direct opposite of how I felt inside.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I was always perplexed and like confused as to how like people could find such joy in my presence, or like in just even people have literally just like looked at me, whatever. But like I'm like, dude, I never feel that on my own. On my own.
But I relate to that. But keep going. I relate to that.
It wasn't until my late teens and my 20s that I started to feel that from myself, and it was when I started to look at myself, when I started to look inside, and when I started to, connect with myself. Because before that, I had been living in a way that was just always looking outward.
Wow.
Always looking at other people, always looking this way and that way. I was never looking at myself. I wasn't seeing what other people were seeing. And so, jingle jangle, I'm like, oh, like it is possible. I'm a headless chicken, dead, lifeless body, but let's get fucking moving. Let's start being whimsical again. Be silly. So
in this scenario, have you found a new king to be jingle jangling for? Or are you saying that you're jingle jangling for yourself?
I'm that king. I'm the fucking king. I wear the crown.
Wow.
I'm king. Wow. I'm sorry, we're in an apartment. I'm sorry, we gotta be quiet. We also gotta wrap this up. No one is listening right now. Nobody's here.
No, they're listening.
There's nobody here, Daniel. But the last line.
Funky Phoenix. So you're the Funky Phoenix. So now that
I'm the Funky Phoenix, dude.
Okay, so you're the jester and you're the headless chicken. And you are now the king and the Funky Phoenix.
And the Funky Phoenix, dude.
And you're the young hero.
I'm the young hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and you're the old guy.
What an a-hole.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay. Let's
But also, I mean, does that ring true with you too? Like, does it matter? Like, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, pointing out all these flaws, maybe, right?
Well, yeah, no.
You can burn that, man. Burn it. Fall to ash. Become anew. Birth anew.
Well, I really relate to this. I knew I connected with this piece. I just needed some guidance and some tender loving care but as you explained it, I really relate to it actually.
Right?
Yeah, no, seriously. And what I'm impressed by actually, this was your first draft?
First draft.
Dude.
Well, it was, I wrote one line and then think, one line.
Oh, that's how you did it.
One line, think.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you noticed before on this page, I wrote down like everything, just like random stuff that I felt. Like I wrote.
Oh, so you brainstormed a little bit.
A little bit. Well, I first vomited and then I formed it a little bit.
Well, okay. Your process was different from mine.
What was your process?
I just freeformed for 5 minutes straight. I don't even think. So I just improvised it the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just decided, okay, this is now where the sentence break is. Then I went to the next line. Then I went to the next line.
So you're telling me I fucked up?
No. This is interesting. No, I mean, this is like comedy. Like everyone's style is different.
Yeah.
But so you took a little bit of time to think out like what you were feeling after the 5 minutes. And then you went straight into the poem.
Yeah. Like first I actually did a vomit. Like if you see on this paper, I wrote joy. I wrote everything external faded away. I wrote, I thought I wrote SpongeBob. I wrote SpongeBob. I wrote, I couldn't help but smile. Pearls of wisdom of wonder.
That's crazy. No, I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean,
maybe try it sometime.
I'm going to try that too.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that
just
too.
Just actual vomit, stream of consciousness, and then, write a little bit.
Well, I also, I mean, again, we're not poetry critics, folks, but
no, we're professionals.
Yeah.
We're operating on a level that
you're right.
No one else is because it's so bad.
Yeah, but but I like my style in that
I do too. Yeah, it's very personal.
Personal is very direct.
Yeah,
I think even my comedy or like in the way that I express myself. Very direct. I'm not very good at, I I'm not very witty. I don't think I'm very witty.
I would argue that point, but yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I don't feel like I'm very good at puns or like kind of like. I think I'm when I do my art, whatever form it is, I just have to be sincere. Yeah. The weakness in that, I think, is there's a very gray line between what I keep private and what I keep public. So I need to work on that boundary. And I think it doesn't allow for a lot of creativity in terms of the story. But I think mine is a lot more like it can cut. Yeah. Whereas
like a blade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my thought for yours is
it's like a boner storm.
What?
Like just imagine a cloud. This is a term. Look up boner storm. It's just a cloud, a storm of boners. Just that's the scariest natural. I don't think it's real. It might be out there.
Okay.
But sorry, I'm just trying.
No. I mean, no.
You're a sword. I'm a boner storm.
No. That's not what. No. No. What I liked about yours is it was filled with meaning, but it was so funny. Oh, yeah. Mine was not funny at all. Yours was really funny.
But you know what? I think it's maybe the use of metaphor. Or I had fun doing it. Did you have fun writing yours?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
No, I like my version of it, but I like yours because it was really complex, actually. It seemed like such a silly thing. And it was, but it was very layered. And I think it was because you took the time to think about it.
Yeah.
And it was, I just want to give you props, dude.
Dude, thank you, man. Can I look a little hug? I think getting uncomfortable.
Not a huge touch guy.
Oh, I'm a huge touch guy.
Okay, good.
Boner storm.
Well, is there anything you wanted to share about?
Boner storm. Sorry.
I guess I'll be the moderator for the poetry pieces. But is there anything you wanted to share about yours, like what you felt like after?
I think all was said. I think, I just felt, I did feel a lot more connected with myself. That's why I asked you. I was like, did it affect your day afterwards? Like having that moment of introspection. But it seemed like you said that there were more material things or not material, but like there were external things in your world that were more pressing. Like you had pest control coming that day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I had to think about opening a practice and teaching. There was a lot of stuff. Yeah.
A lot of stress, right?
Yeah. I wish I had reflected on it a little bit more. Yours seemed very surprisingly very contemplative, actually, your process.
Well, I'm an overthinker. I think, I've been trying to think less. I think that's where I'm at in my life. I'm just like, you know what? Let's just stop. Let's just turn this machine off. And I have found that life is so much more bearable. It's actually a delight. Just being focused in the now and mindfulness and stuff. And, because my whole life just overthinking, mind always wandering and all that stuff. And boner storm, a real boner storm of a mind.
Boner storm.
It feels so good to say. Just like gobbledygook. That's a good gobbledygook. That's a fun word to say. Yeah. Anything else you're thinking of?
No, I'm excited to start this. There's a lot that we want to try and do. Lots that we want to talk about. We just want to be a good hang at a cafe.
Yeah.
We just want this to be just fun.
Yeah, fun. Take a load off. Maybe have some deep revelations and some, boner storms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the perfect combo.
Should we change the name of the podcast?
No, we're keeping it. Okay. We're keeping it, even though there's 3 other people who have taken the word gobbledygook.
Yeah. And you know what?
And we're at war with all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing we wanted to do is we wanted to invite you, if you wanted to share a review of our poems, or if you want to ask us questions, we will make sure that there's a mailbag. So we will provide.
Drop it down below. Yeah. Comment.
At this email right here.
Look at this millennial. There's a comment section, dude. Email. I'm not going to set up an email for this shit. There's a comments. Bro.
We can end the podcast now.
We're going to set up a fax number. Or you can. What's a fax, dude?
you don't even know what a fax is? A fax is a machine where you punch in a fake telephone number and send a letter through the air.
I really actually appreciate how that was actually a good explanation of what a fax machine is.
Yeah, it literally sends information through the air, through the phone lines.
Wow.
Visually. And it prints it out on the other end. Yeah, it's pre-Wi-Fi printers.
Eliminated any remaining viewers or listeners. But I like it, man. I love it. This podcast is just for us. But yes, again, if you have any questions, anything you want to say to the gobbledys over here, comment down below. And also, if you want to take a stab at writing a poem based off of our prompt, stare into a mirror for 5 minutes straight. Just looking at yourself.
And write about what you see for 5 minutes.
Yeah. What you see, what you feel. And yeah. And share. We would love to read them.
Yeah. We'll read your poems.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
God bless.
Gobbledygook.